Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Walking Through the Scriptures with Joseph Bahoda. I'm your host, Joe Bahoda, and I'm reporting, if you haven't heard this by now, because it just came out probably about 4 or 5 hours ago, maybe about 6 or 7 by the time you see this. Robert Morris just got it indicted on 5 counts of basically. Well, let me read the exact article here. On 5 counts of indecent acts with a child, basically SA of a minor. Now, if you've been following this story, he was the pastor of Gateway Church in Texas, but it was found out that he was guilty of SA of a lady now named Cindy back in 1982 all the way to 1985 in Oklahoma. And so therefore, he was, let go and all that. So, he's no longer the pastor of Gateway Church. I reported on that initially when it first happened. But he has officially been indicted on 5 counts of basically indecent acts with a minor, because Cindy was 12 at the time when this happened. And this came as a little bit of a surprise to me, because not because I don't want justice. No, I do want justice, obviously, clearly. But since this happened 40 years ago, with the statute of limitations, I didn't know what they could do or not do or whatever, particularly since he's in Texas. And I don't know each individual state's laws or whatever, but because the SA happened in Oklahoma. Well, with that being said, this is a major deal, because it's not the state of Texas that's going after him. This is the state of Oklahoma that's going after him. So this is a big deal, how the judge decided to pursue this. And then two, because it happened 40 years ago, I mean, I'm glad they are, but at the same time, I didn't know if they would, because it did happen like 40 some years ago. So just because he can be indicted doesn't necessarily mean that the legal process is going to go ahead and proceed and do it. But they are indeed doing it. So, I say thank God for that, because what he did was a crime. This was not a moral failure, even though it was definitely a moral failure, but this was more than a moral failure. This was a crime. SA of a minor is a crime, and that's what happened. So the state of Oklahoma is coming after him. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen on this. This is the 2-minute news report that I just got this morning, and I just want to say thank you for the sister that gave this to me. She's one of my subscribers, and she actually lives in Oklahoma. So this is a major story, over there in Oklahoma. And I'm in North Carolina, but she's in Oklahoma. So this is a major story where she is. And she sent this to me this morning. So here it is right here. And if you can see, it says Gateway Church pastor Robert Morris. Well, he's not the pastor anymore. Indicted of 5 counts of indecent acts with a child. And this was 5 hours ago. So by the time you see this, it's probably going to be about 7 hours ago, because I'm going to release this here in a couple hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll go from there.
Well, new this morning, prosecutors are moving forward now with a criminal case for the founder of Gateway Church in South Lake. A grand jury indicted Robert Morris on 5 counts of child sex abuse dating back to the 1980s.
Yeah, Bo Evans joins us now from Gateway Church. Bo, this indictment specifically is not out of Texas. It's actually out of Oklahoma. What have you learned?
Yeah, Madison, Carmen, that's right. This indictment is for Robert Morris. He was indicted on 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child from 5 alleged incidents that took place in Hominy, Oklahoma from 1982 to 1985. Now, Cindy Clemenshire has confirmed to CBS News Texas that she is the unnamed victim in the indictment. She went public with her accusations of abuse by Morris last summer, leading to his resignation from Gateway Church. She says the abuse started on Christmas in 1982 when she was 12 years old.
So according to that, he resigned. I didn't know if he was fired or resigned, but I know he's not the pastor anymore.
Years old, and Morris was a traveling pastor. Clemenshire is now in her 50s. She says Morris and his family would stay at the Clemenshire home in Oklahoma when he was on the road. Morris has admitted to inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady in a previous public statement. And the Oklahoma Attorney General says the normal statute of limitations for a case like this doesn't apply to Morris because he never lived in Oklahoma.
That's how they got around it, if you will, the statute of limitations. I thought that was very, very interesting. He does not live in Oklahoma. I don't know if Cindy does or whatnot, but he did not. He was just a traveling minister. He lived in Texas, because that's where the church is. So therefore, he's saying the statute of limitations does not apply, and that's how and why they're going after him. very interesting aspect of the story there. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Statute of limitations for a case like this doesn't apply to Morris because he never lived in Oklahoma. Now, in a statement, Gateway Church said, "We are aware of the actions being taken by the legal authorities in Oklahoma and are grateful for the work of the justice system in holding abusers accountable for their actions. We continue to pray for Cindy Clemenshire and her family, for members and staff of Gateway Church, and for all those impacted by this terrible situation." Clemenshire says she's happy Morris is being held accountable.
That having the truth be heard, it's changed the way I feel about myself.
And Robert Morris hasn't spoken or appeared publicly since resigning from Gateway Church last summer. The Oklahoma Attorney General says his initial court appearance hasn't been set. In Southlake, Bo Evans, CBS News, Texas.
Well,
So there it is, everybody. So he's been indicted on 5 counts there in Oklahoma. And again, the way the judge said it, well, he wasn't living in Oklahoma. He was just, just traveling. He didn't actually live there. So that's how they're going about doing it. And I say, amen. Again, I'm all about justice, and particularly when crimes are committed. These are things you got to take seriously. These are things you got to report. And then when it was found that it happens, these are things you have to criminally do the right thing. So I'm glad that they are pursuing it. And again, I didn't know if they would or not, and I didn't know if they could because I didn't know the statute of limitations and how all that worked. But in this case, since they're doing it from Oklahoma, they are going after him. And again, I'm glad justice is trying to be served here. So again, I'm all about justice and doing the right thing and all that. So, I'm glad that Cindy is getting, well, we'll see what happens. Again, he's been indicted, and of course he's obviously resigned from the pastor there. But what's going to come of this, I don't know. I guess I'm like you. He's been indicted. So now we'll see what happens in the legal process as far as where this actually goes. In that regard, I'm just like you. I'm trying, we're just going to sit back and find out what happens. But he has officially been indicted on 5 counts. And again, I just found out this morning. So we'll see what happens, guys. So I'm just doing a quick video today just to kind of let you know what's happening. As I'm getting information, I just decided to give it to you guys. And as always, that video that I just showed will be in the description of my video. So if you want to go back and watch that yourself, you can. So just continue to pray, guys. And until then, as always, God loves you 92. God bless everybody.